You can see everything?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, that's good. 10% volume, something. Wow. The way this works is like I just look at something and then I'm gonna give you the timestamp, or just we just go over it separately. If you can put the screen share up in like the corner or something of the screen, that would be okay.
I will just. I'm using full screen.
No, I see. Okay, I mean that also works. I'd say you should just make Skype like larger, like two
Oh,
thirds of the screen or
okay.
something, and then you
Okay.
can just tab over all the time. That's probably better.
Okay. Just a second.
Hmm.
Okay. Now it's better.
Okay, should I start with the first two objects?
Okay.
These things everywhere, like where there's a hit sound and everything, those are equally strong. Like the circle is inside of the slider arrow, and the slider end, they all land on the same kind of beat, the same kind of guitar string. So using a slider like this doesn't make a whole lot of
Oh,
sense, because
okay.
basically what you're doing is you're changing a like 4-beat pattern like this
Hmm.
into, and then you just hold it.
Okay.
Um, so you would probably want to use 4 circles with like medium spacing or something. Say something like this, I guess. Yeah, let's just something like this. Like a back and forth swaying pattern or something is what I'd say would probably fit well.
But like at the second circle, the guitar string is like holding. If you listen
Mm-hmm.
carefully.
Yeah, those are a bit more holdy, which is why I think this works better. Because if you had sliders that went like, I don't know, like this or something, then that wouldn't really feel nice to me, which is why I'm suggesting this. Because basically what you're doing is you have 1, then you semi-snap to 2, and then because the follow points are visible and the next object is as well, you can just sway slowly over the screen. Basically the way you play it, if you can see the cursor. Can you see my cursor?
Yeah, I can.
It's like you go here, here, and then you like slowly trace over to there, over like this time frame. And you sway
Okay.
there, then you sway there, and then you sway back. Like that's the way I see it.
Okay. I will just a second. I will do like that. I shouldn't break the distance up right there, right?
Distance snap? How do you mean?
I mean, like, not closing it at the start.
I'm confused.
Um,
I
you're
usually
spacing in
I
one and
usually do my spacing based on follow points, because
mm,
that also has like aesthetic impact rather than just pure numbers.
okay,
So like this is a 1 follow point snap, and I want, like when I do it, I always want the objects to have the same distance to like to the follow point. Like if I just pull this a bit further, then this is totally out of balance,
okay,
for example. And like this is in the follow points in the middle, so you have the most aesthetic consistency. You have most freedom when you don't have a follow point in that,
hmm,
because you can make the spacing like anything from this to like this basically. But with the follow points, then I go by follow point basis. So basically 1 here, and then you increase the spacing on the back and forths, because otherwise it feels very static. I don't think the song feels very static because it's very resonance based, as in like the echo of the acoustic guitar and everything.
yeah, okay,
So like something like this, so that the spacing increases every time by like 1 or 2 points. I think this increases by 1 per thing.
hmm,
Um, then this, like you shouldn't stack notes like this on a new combo, 6, 7, and 1, because the new combo is a separation in musical patterns usually. And I mean,
yeah,
that's where the pattern starts again here. So you want to have a clear separation. Usually you want to make it so that you have a snap into the next combo. So like if, say I did it like this, you put the notes like that. Then where would you put the new combo? Where would you put the next combo?
Okay.
No, where would you put it? Like now?
And now, when it's not new combo,
Yeah,
you
when
can
I have these
far away.
objects like this, where would I put the new combo? Like in which part of the stream? Would I put it here? Would I put it there? Would I put it here? Like where do you think would fit best?
Right corner maybe, right up corner.
Upper right corner means you have like one curve all the way here and then you snap out like that, which I think is pretty awkward. I'd say you should go downwards again, because then you counteract two trends that you're building here, which is one, you have the, and I'm gonna use paint for this. And the thing is, you have multiple trends going on here, which is firstly this, and that goes upwards. Like firstly, you have a rightwards trending curve motion. So you have the curve motion, and it turns into very horizontal movement at around here. Not horizontal, vertical. Like you barely move to the right or the left. It's basically only vertical movement that you put into it. So if you snapped to the top right, you would basically just change your left-rightward motion and just increase space.
Not like that. I said, how can I show you?
Oh, okay. Yeah, but like that's just as an example. Like I'm just gonna draw different lines here.
Yeah, okay.
And like I don't know, you could tell me which one of those you think would be fitting, or I could just ask you in general about what you think about each one if you want to do the quizzing method.
Like this one, the last one you did.
Let me do this first. Okay. So which of the ones? This one?
Yeah, this one maybe. Like the same flow, it can.
I'm thinking more at around here actually would be optimal.
Yes. That's better, yeah.
It would probably be the best. Like the two options that I see most fitting would be either this one, the snap down and to the right, not very much to the right, but definitely more than the previous objects, and downward, so it's a snap motion, or something at around here.
Yeah, that's like blanketing.
Well, not really blanketing. It's more like
Flowing.
You still have the curve, but it doesn't continue just like it doesn't continue like this.
Yeah.
All the way upwards. So you basically like you have the implied curve that would go up to the top left and like up here somewhere.
Yeah.
But you interrupt it at around here and force an active snap. Like those two would be the ones that you could go for.
Yes.
So that's what I'd say you should look into.
Okay.
I was supposed to announce this.
Okay.
Because like a few people actually asked me to tell like in what the helm.
Can you show me the first part again? I didn't apply it.
First part?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the back and forth?
Yes.
That would be like this. There. That's what I would do. Also, another reason why 2 is like to the top right is because now you get the difference in like swaying.
Yeah.
1 to 2 is a mostly vertical but slightly to the right motion. Then 3 is a mostly horizontal and to the left motion, and you get me, like then you have mostly horizontal swaying patterns, whereas the previous thing is more shabby. Horizontal motion in general is a lot more abrupt than not horizontal, vertical than horizontal. Because, and that's the thing, like you can just test this out yourself. It doesn't matter whether you use a mouse or a tablet really, but I think it comes better across a mouse. Because for horizontal motion, you actually need to manually shove the thing rather than just tilt your wrist, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the least stressful case would be to go into more of a claw grip and push the mouse upwards. But most of the time it's a wrist motion in some sort of way. or forearm, wrist or forearm, whereas horizontal is mostly wrist and finger tilting. It's more tilting than shoving, which is a lot more smooth. So like that's something that goes into that as well. And for tablet, you obviously need to flick it, like tablet pen all the time. When you
Yes,
flick it
yes.
upwards, you get more jittery, you get more inaccurate
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And so that also feels more pressured, also because snapping upwards is the most insecure motion you can do on the tablet, I think, if you tap specifically. Like I'm speaking from tapping experience here, but as long as you don't drag the tablet, it has a much larger impact. And even if you drag it, it's still like the flicking still persists because you give up control the further you flick it upwards, because
Mm-hmm.
light rests more and more on your finger and the finger part itself, rather than having like the strength of thumb and index finger.
Yes.
You know, like that's the actual motoric background to that.
Mm.
I hope you understand.
I misunderstand lots of things, but okay, I think.
Well, if you don't understand, then you can just tell me.
Okay.
But yeah, basically, upwards motion usually requires more force and makes the hand more insecure.
Mm-hmm.
Tablet is more insecurity, mouse is more force, I'd
Yeah.
say. But either way, it's the most straining motion.
Yeah, I played both like 1 year. I don't know. I
Yeah,
know
me
the
too.
difference.
I used to play tablet with drag back in 2012, like or
Oh.
rather mid 2011 to mid 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got a mouse, like played with mouse again, mostly snappy, and then over time I got a new mouse, and then I played a lot more smooth. So like I tried a lot of different hardware
Mm-hmm.
configurations and everything. So I'm confident in my experience with them.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name call anything. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out, but I'm not gonna name call anybody.
What do you mean?
I was just asked who I was coaching,
Oh,
so it's
and
like
real name or
no. You know, in modern health.
nickname?
I mean, yeah, sure, they can know, I guess.
I mean, my nickname. It's okay to show.
But yeah, you got the first combo?
Yeah, I did. Wait.
Just like the horizontal swaying motion is basically what you want. And it should increase over time so that pressure builds up and it doesn't feel super static. Like,
Okay.
sure, the strings are all not that strongly pronounced, but, you know, point still stands.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you just make it static, then what's the point?
Okay.
I'm not gonna go through every pattern with you. Like,
Okay.
I just want to solve everything, basically. So after this, you have the choice of this circle or, like, say, that circle. Like, one of those two you can use, I'd say. And it depends on what you value here. Do you value the higher spacing to the left?
I think.
Higher spacing downward snap to the left? Or do you value the extremely high, like, clash in movement, which would be the blue combo?
So which one would you prefer?
Both work. They just do different things to work. That's the thing.
Okay, then blue one, I think.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'm not sure which one I would use actually, because, and that's the thing, this is the intro part.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if higher spacing or the like extreme clash in movement, like which one it like feels less disruptive.
Like,
You need to balance that with the song and everything.
yeah, I know. When it's the intro slow part, I think I shouldn't use sharp flows, you know.
Yeah, you should probably use the red one then.
Red one, yeah.
Like somewhere
I got.
around there. Yeah, like say you used 3 points for in here rather than 1 point as before.
Okay.
Yeah, around there. I wouldn't make this a blanket with 5. Do not make that a blanket with 5, because then it's weird, like down here, and if you want to use 3 points, then you're basically there, and it's like, okay. I mean, I guess if you move it really close to 5 like this, then it can work, but don't do it up here. It just feels out of touch. And you sacrifice things for it.
Okay.
But yeah, you should save this as another difficulty, just saying. So then you can compare it to the previous one, and then you can actually fill in the gaps rather than just deleting everything right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So also that you have the comparison and everything.
So you're not using the slider again, right? For here.
You're not. You could do it like, what could you do here? I guess you could use one of these again. I'm not sure if you should use this, just like that. And then you would go for a ascending and slightly less spaced one, as opposed to before, like the back and forth.
Okay.
Because upwards motion more pressure than downwards motion, so you don't need as much spacing. Yeah, for 4 you could use a slow slider actually. Like say 2/3. Oh, on another note, I think 50% hit volume is too much for the start. Probably like try 35 or something.
Okay.
And we want horizontal movement back here because again, like angle and everything else. Yeah, you get the point.
Yeah, right. Wait. Let me see.
Fine, I'm gonna let you see. Also, I don't think approach rate 9 is the best for this.
Yeah, it was 8.5, but I don't know. I accidentally changed and then just left the use now.
I don't remember the KI times, that's the thing, but from the start I'd say something around 8 to 8.4 would probably be okay.
Okay. What slider was the multiplier that you used again?
0.66. Basically 2/3.
Oh.
Thanks, Twitch chat. Internet people. What the fuck? What the fuck do people even send me on Telegram sometimes?
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now here you would start the next combo on top of force end. You know why?
Okay.
Like you just stack the next one onto 4 because the song just has an entire pause there, nothing's happening. Like the guitar just loses all of its strength over this amount of time, there's nothing else happening. So there's no reason to make the player move. Specifically, and that's the thing, moving on a new combo, like over a long time frame, say you put it here, up there, and you just say, well, but there's so much time between that, the player could easily move there. Yeah, sure, but like the player only starts seeing the object as the slider ends, and will probably not realize it's actually really there before, like, say, here. So what you actually make it is like, you know, you basically turn it into this, which suddenly turns into a 2.0 spacing, like 2.1 spacing rather than 1.3 as you were intending.
Yeah.
Because there is no follow points, so swaying motions don't work without follow points or without low approach rate. And AR8 is still not enough for that. Like with AR9, the player wouldn't notice that the object is there until like here, until the blue tick.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I got the point here.
Yeah, I just want to explain this like thoroughly so that you actually like get the scenario in which you could make that work and everything, rather than just saying like fix this.
No, I got the idea. Yeah, it's a good idea actually.
Like that's the principle behind it. Moving onwards. I don't think I need to go through every single one of these sound patterns now. I mean, we got 2 of them, like, you know.
Okay.
You can use a vertical oriented back and forth thing probably, or like this, like diagonal. Like say more like you could use something more like this, but you need to understand that the spacing needs to be compromised for that. Like you can't use the same spacing as for the first combo then. The more you go into vertical movement, specifically upwards, the more you need to compromise spacing if you want to maintain the same level of pressure.
Okay.
So, yeah, something like this would work, for example, which is significantly less space than the first combo. Like the first combo would have been this wide, and that feels a lot more pressuring than this, right? And there's the same spacing.
Yeah.
So like something like this can work, as long as you compromise and adjust the spacing properly. Okay. Also, you should bookmark each section. It's usually pretty helpful. Like just bookmarking when the rhythm actually changes in the song, like section-wise. That's usually how long is that? Every 30-1 or every 16-1, something like that. Which is this? This is 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars. Yeah, 16-1 is the first. So many songs that's actually the case. Like 16-1-1 beats is when the rhythm will change. So basically, you have 4 iterations of the same section, the rhythm section, or subsection. It's called that.
Okay.
You're a bit roboting.
What do you mean?
That means your internet is slightly crisp.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything you can fix about that?
I don't know how.
Oh, okay. That's not working.
Tell me or
Your internet is very inconsistent right now.
oh.
Perchance stop torrenting porn. No, I don't know what's going on. Do you think you can fix it? Or something?
I can reach my modem.
I guess you can try that.
Okay. Be right back.
Yeah, right back in a few minutes. Internet problems. I think we all know the problem. We all know the feeling. Back when I used to have shit internet, back in, when was that? 2010? 2010 in Germany? I used to have pretty shit internet. Now I live in Sweden, and the cheapest thing or the weakest thing you can get is 100 Mbps, and I'm happy forever after. The worst problems I have are like sometimes ping drops. That's all. That's pretty good. But yeah, this map doesn't seem too bad, that's the thing. Like, the thing about newbie maps is that a lot of the time they will make a lot of reoccurring issues, which is understandable. I mean, how are you gonna not make the same issue like multiple times if you don't know what the issue was. And that's why I want to go like over two reoccurrences of every subsection, so, something like that, just to like get the, two variations for the same pattern across and get the general concept, rather than keep repeating everything, making this like a 5-hour session thing, because I just don't have the time for that, and neither do other people, I think. So that's usually how I go about things. And now we're waiting for, I think it's Turkish internet. That's gonna be cute. Yeah, this slider doesn't make any sense, for example. Like, I usually call it active and passive hit sounding, but if you want to have it more understandable, you could just say that, like, clicking rhythm does not match up with the song's rhythm, I guess. Okay, let's try again.
Okay. Is it better now?
You should talk more so that I can, like, get a
Oh,
sample
okay.
size here.
All right.
Talk straight for like 10 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, you should be talking for a while, yo.
Hello, 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 hello.
That's not talking, that's being obnoxious.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know. There is a difference between putting something, between putting an inherit point before the circle and on it, which is that sometimes edit will make objects move by 1 to 2 milliseconds, and if it does that to either the section or the circle, if you have both on the same tick, then it's not going to apply anymore. So you usually want to use the inherit section at least 1/8 before the actual object. That's a Twitch chat, by the way.
Okay. Can you show me with the example?
Example? Well, I mean, you did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. That's gonna work even if edit fucks up the milliseconds. If you did it like this, then it could fuck up.
Oh.
Because then the section and the circle are on the same point, and if edit offsets one differently from the other, yeah, then it's not gonna apply anymore.
Oh, okay.
You get the meaning?
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Well, now you know that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I'm like, I don't have those on my map. Maybe some.
You mean you don't have the inherit sections that are on top of another object?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's good. Yeah, it's good if you don't. It's
I
usually
do
okay.
actually. Some part. Not
Thing is,
all
it's
of them.
usually okay. It's just sometimes edit fucks up, and then it's really annoying.
Okay.
There is no reasonable explanation for why it does that, and it's been doing that for years.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't like that. Either how. The spacing is a bit big, isn't it?
Wait. Let me find where are we at now.
At 12 seconds. Got it?
And change it the sliders to circles, or
No.
is it the same?
Because, like, using the slider here is fine because you now have the more electronically tuned guitar, and the slider doesn't end where there is a sound, so you can actually emphasize the hold better, which makes sense to like also emphasize the hold because it's now more pressure. Like, the song is stronger now, so getting like taking more input from the player makes sense. I'd say you should like do it like this now, the circle stuff.
Let's see.
Having more of a strong angle. Well, actually less of a super strong angle, but also lower spacing. But you know what I mean, like this.
Yeah,
And the reason why I made the slider this way instead of just pointing like down there or something is if you still have the slight upward swing, which I think helps with the hold note. Because like, you know, keeps the upwards trend and actually like has some sort of progression rather than just dropping.
Okay.
This slider does not make any sense.
It's the second one?
Yeah, the second slider in the next combo does not make any sense because it doesn't land on anything.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
just a weird filler, and then it also starts on the blue tick, which usually doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Okay.
Also, I don't think the new combos needed. So I'd say you just use another slider here.
Okay. Ends on red tick, right?
Yeah, it ends on the red tick. I think something like this could work. Like a triple slider combo, basically. Because it lets you emphasize the hold notes properly, and it doesn't have extremely sharp angles, so that the transition actually feels, you know, smooth.
Yeah.
But still, like having above 1.0 spacing between the sliders is pretty important, because otherwise it's just one completely fluid motion. Like this, you have mini speed ups between the sliders, which helps giving a bit of a snap to them.
Okay.
And then 6 has an additional bonus because, well, it's the last one, so it's like, okay, might as well. And it has a turn in the motion, obviously, whereas 4 is just like slightly upwards then down, and together with 5 it just basically makes a wiggle, like up and down. And then 6 turns away from that and allows you to have a stronger snap on the next note.
Okay.
You might want to stack those next notes simply because spacing them out might just feel like a little too much because you're still not in the main rhythm, like the main part of the song rather. So I think using 1.4 spacing is pretty good for this.
1.5, yeah?
1.4.
4, okay.
Yeah, works better with the follow points.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I said this while you were offline. I think it's best to like in every section, which I said is like usually 16 1 beats. So it's like 4, what do you call it, 4 stanzas, 4
Okay.
big white ticks. It's usually best to just talk about two of the patterns, so 8 1s basically, and then move on to the next section. Because then you have 2 variations of how you can map it. Also, I really like the way this looks.
Okay.
I like this.
All right.
Can I have this? I'm gonna screenshot this. So like this. Also, like, I know chat is not like picking on me right now or anything or complaining. At least I don't think so. But like people keep complaining about my voice, and it's like you should have heard my old one. Like you should have heard what I sounded like 2 years ago. That was horrible. I mean, I still don't like the way I sound, to be fair. But you should have heard my old one. That was basically Dyrus. And it's like, yeah, can we not do that? Like, I understand. Like, this is, I don't have the pitch, and I don't like that. But I can't really practice right now because my throat is injured.
Oh.
So it's kind of lower already anyway.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, it is okay as a standalone. It's perfectly fine. It's just it doesn't feel very indicative of who I am.
Hmm.
But yeah, that doesn't really concern other people, I guess. But yeah, this is like the first example I'd give you for this section, which is curve slider based. For the next one, you could then make like a different one. Thing is, where do you want to go from here? Like, do you want it to have a 2-unit snap? And by unit, I mean like follow point.
Okay.
Do you want to have like a 2-unit snap like this? like a weak angle but slightly wider. Oh,
does an circle fits the white tick there? Do you
what?
think? Oh, okay. So you are asking for spacing, right?
Yeah, like where would you want to place this? Because the thing
Mm.
is, because we're in the bottom left now, if we go up here and want to map here, then we need to use a wide spacing because otherwise it's really cluttered with the slider. Up here is not really possible, so
Yeah,
going somewhere
yeah,
here is probably advisable. Like
yeah.
say here or there is where I would say spacing and angle work. Probably
Mm-hmm.
here though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then what we have is you had this motion, then you snap here. So what do you want to go from there? I
Um,
said we have two options.
Two options.
Yeah, should I make you guess which the options are, or should I just tell you what I think would make sense?
We can go right or up.
Well, where right? Direct my cursor. Where do I go? Where do I go
Just,
with this? Do I go here? Do I go here? Do I go there? Where do I go in this?
I don't know.
Okay, so let me tell you. One option would be down here, like this, basically.
Okay.
Because you first go upwards again from 8 into 1. Thing is, like this is the complaint I have about this version, is that 1 is not significantly of an upwards motion to feel make it feel very separated.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was up here, for example, then it would work much better. But the problem is then that it collides with the slider border,
Okay.
which is why I think this version doesn't work that well. Different one would be to just go up here again, because as you can see, like 2 only starts spawning after 6 has already vanished, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the tick that you start seeing it like be visible on either 8 or 1, so you
Okay.
don't have the overlap anymore.
Okay.
That's why you could do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would, well, do a similar pattern as before, or to before, which could be like this again.
Yeah. Okay. This seems good, I think.
Yeah, and then I don't know, you could use different slider shapes here, like you could use one of these, though it's a bit hard to get the angle right, the red point, so that it doesn't feel awkward. I think this one works.
Okay.
I mean, that's my personal impression anyway. I don't really know. But yeah, something like this you could do. You can use different kinds of slider shapes if you want to. If you want to use different kinds of slider shapes, I would say you should vary it up every other occurrence.
Yeah, I get it. I think
By which I mean,
normal.
like you say you have every odd combo, which is like the first and the third and the fifth combo. For
Mm-hmm.
those, you could be using like patterns like these, very smooth ones. Then for the even combos, you could use more like distinct slider shapes that change over time. You know, like this, something. And like different ways to actually implement, because the first combo goes very smoothly into each other. Like they all like directly lead where the other ones are.
Yeah.
With this combo, you always have this little mini out snap. They're not really lenient, because like theoretically you could play this as a line, but nobody's gonna do that. They're still going to play it like relatively smooth line or
Yes.
smooth curve, and then they're gonna snap out.
Mm-hmm.
And like that you get variation without having to interrupt any sort of like overall scheme or rhythm.
Okay.
Like that's how I see it. If you have any like comments or things you want to say about that or to that, you can do that. That. I should get something to drink.
I will use this, I think.
You mean what I have here?
No, yeah,
This?
yeah.
I mean,
No,
I could just save this file and send it to you at the end. That works as well, I guess. Actually, we could make it so that you have 3 files. You have the original file, you have the file that is your implementation while we do things here, and then you have my example file. We could do that. That sounds like it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
yeah.
There's a lot
But
of
I don't know.
files now.
But like I can understand every reason of that.
Hmm?
I can understand the all like the reasons.
Like, as long as you understand what I'm saying, or if you don't, at least ask, so that we can talk and clarify it, it's fine.
Okay. Then let me come back at that.
What?
Did you take the message from the game? Oh, okay.
What about it? What about the slider?
No.
Do you want to see it
Like
again?
you just said if you use these sliders you should use the same thing, right? In the next parts.
No. What I mean is, you should use the same rhythm for every section. Do you know? Like, for this is like
Oh,
like one click, 2 slow clicks, and then 1 hold slider, 2 clicks, and everything. That's your very first section.
mhm.
Then for the next section you have click and half nodes, or click double click. Then you have sliders that you have slightly increased movement into. And the first combo is the smooth one. The second one is the slightly uneven one, where the sliders hint into each other but they don't flow perfectly, so to speak. You have like little snaps between them. And for
Okay.
this next combo you could go like for something else again. Like, say, let me just do this. Then you could make this one smooth again, this combo. Oh, okay, this is a bit too high, so we should make it more like this. And put that down here a bit more, but you get the point.
Okay.
Like, this combo would be more smooth again. And that's the pattern you could go by. Like, could, mind you, could, not have to. But just like, those are 2 alternating patterns you could use. You could alternate between very smooth combo and smooth combo with little hiccups, basically. And as long as you do that mindfully in like a consistent sort of pattern, that's fine. If you change it every single time and never really reuse the previous ideas at all when the song stays the same, that's when it becomes questionable. And the thing is, variation you can use either alternating, like combo to combo, like I did here. First combo smooth, second combo slightly uneven. Or you could make 2 smooth combos, then 2 slightly uneven combos, then 2 very jagged combos.
Okay.
Like, say, first combo you only use these smooth sliders that go directly into each other. Second combo you use smooth sliders that have slight hiccups between them. Third combo you use more linear sliders with red points. Something like that, you know? Like, you have a consistency there. So that, like, over time, basically, you will warm the player up to the idea that it's now getting to go more angular.
But like the first part,
And no, I want to say this one point still.
okay.
For fuck's sake. Okay, but the point is, you want to do the variation not in the same combo. You do not like just make this like that and then you still use this. You do not do that. What you do is you have one combo themed one way, then the next combo is themed a slightly different way, then the next combo is themed slightly differently, and so forth and so forth.
But don't they are the same, like same part of the song?
You mean the song?
So yeah, song.
Yeah, the song goes the same here, which is why if you want to make differences, you're going to make subtle differences,
But
so that
like,
like the player doesn't completely change the way they play it. And these still have the same spacings and same idea behind them. Like you keep the same rhythm, just the
mhm,
implementation and accentuation varies. Like,
yeah.
this one has the slide like side nicks basically between the sliders, whereas the previous one just had like little mini snaps between them where they
Mhm.
pointed.
But is it okay to use that different sliders? Or like, when the song is same, like I should do the same.
You
You
shouldn't
know,
always do the same. Like you don't have
that.
to.
Mm.
The thing is, you should keep the clicking rhythm the same.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Like
So changing the sliders are
the
okay, yeah?
object rhythm should be the same. The movement pattern does not have to be the same. You should look
Okay.
to accentuate similar things, but it doesn't have to be the exact same. Which is why people often confuse consistency with copy paste. You're not supposed to like repeat the same first pattern 3 times here. Like you're not supposed to do this thing, which I'm now going to do for demonstration purposes. Just like this. You're not supposed to do this.
Okay.
You're not supposed to do that, okay?
Mhm.
That's not your job. It's not your job. Stall your gerbs. Still no gerbs. That's a South Park reference. But yeah, you get the point.
Yeah.
You can still accentuate the same things with slight variety in it. Like as long as you're following the same overall scheme, which is the rhythm that the song goes by, it's fine.
Mhm.
Like I could make this a whole angular featured combo, and this one would still be the same sound pattern. So like, it's only the implementation that's slightly different, but the same like atmosphere persists basically. And this is useful if, say, the next section of the song you want to map mostly with these angular sliders. You know?
Okay.
Like if you feel like the next section of the song is really strong and you'd like to use the angular sliders all the time
Mhm.
there, then it makes sense to introduce it like that before the section starts. The next
Okay.
one. So, say you start this section with the smooth combo, then you use the slightly unsmooth one, then you use a fully angular one, and then you use a third angular one with slightly bigger spacing towards the
So,
end.
so if you think that slider is more powerful than others, you use sharp sliders or
You don't have
like,
to. It all depends on the actual like effective movement that the player goes by.
okay.
It's just like depending on which ones you want to use, you can warm the player up to the concept if you want to do that.
Hmm.
That's just to lessen the change between the sections.
Okay.
But you know, we're done with this section now. Okay, this is basically the same,
Mhm.
except it has a few strong drum beats. So like you can basically use a similar rhythm for this one.
Mhm.
Obviously, just you would want to have the strong impact. And obviously it has a 1-1 rhythm going in it, which is pretty good. Oh well, it's not 1-1. It's 1/2, but whatever. You get the meaning.
Mhm.
It has more filler beats. So what you could do is you could use 1/4 sliders here, like this. You could make like little mini patterns, and then you would want the strong emphasis on the drum beat.
Okay.
Relatively strong anyway. Something like this, for example, just as an example.
Mhm.
The thing is, you can say like 1, 2, 3 have basically the same spacing, which, well, in distance snap they do. The difference is though that you also have visual spacing, and that's the thing. These sliders, at least for my part,
Mhm.
look like they're more tightly spaced because of the slider bodies and
Okay.
because of the leniency that the sliders allow for. Because as you know, if you like exit a slider, you can be like you could be here at the end of the slider, down here,
Mhm.
and it would still
Okay,
count.
I
You could
got
be
that.
down here as long as your cursor still touches the border of this. You could be anywhere here. You could already be
Mhm.
there. So
Yeah.
basically, this jump like kind of becomes more like this
Mm-hmm.
for some people. For some it becomes like this, for some it becomes like that,
Okay.
depending on how they play the slider.
Mm-hmm.
So because that has higher leniency, and specifically because it's into a slider in the next one, which you can hit early, you can hit it late, and it's still gonna like give you 300.
Yeah.
Because slider leniency is a bitch. You need to factor that in. So that's why I think this feels more tight, or rather this one feels more tight than the slider to slider combo. But you could still increase it by like one follow point, like the spacing. That would also work, probably like this,
Okay.
just as an example combo. And then we get into the slider rhythm again, which then starts over here, and like that part we know. Basically, the only distinction you make here is that you can use the filler beats for slider ends here. So you can actually map the start of each stanza more effectively by using sliders.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make it feel more compact that way, which is nice because that generates even more pressure for the drum beat.
Okay. Yeah.
That's pretty nice. So you can do that. And should I like map two stanzas as an example, or is that
No,
sufficient
I
for
got
you?
I got the idea.
Okay. I'm just going to delete everything. Yeah, thing about this section is that every 101 beat is really pressured. So in this section you need to choose whether you want to go for the drum or the drum bell, whatever that thing is, that's on every 101 beat, or whether you want to stick to the guitar. I'm not entirely sure about that, like what I would do in this case. I mean,
here.
I guess you could just stick to the guitar actually, because that's
Yeah.
the most consistent thing that's been going on.
Yeah.
So basically use the same rhythm as earlier, as in this section. You just space it out more.
Okay.
Basically use this section just with two, like you increase the spacing between everything by one follow point, basically.
Yeah.
That's what you can do.
Okay.
I'm just going to symbolize this by deleting everything, firstly.
Okay.
Okay.
That's different. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I know. I'm just going to symbolize this by dragging things out a bit. Rule. That sounds like half car, half dog. Introducing the Apple iDog. That would be so scary. I'm not good with dogs, just saying.
Oh.
Like, dogs can be cute, but I'm scared of them a lot of the time because they're loud, and I hate loud things. I really hate loud things. Like, I really do. But yeah, this is an example of what you could do then, basically. I just upscaled the entire combo and it still works. Though less so than before because this slider cut got fucked up. But you get the point. Okay, point was made. Next section. I think this goes in beats of 4 that repeat. This one. And I'd say you can either map them compressed, like, you know, like anti-jumps. Actually, let's just pull this down a bit more. That works, I guess. and then you would increase the spacing here because those are
Yeah.
smaller.
Mhm.
Just say like this, 1.2. Okay, this is a pattern of 4, and then these are patterns of 3. You can map the patterns of like the pairs of 4 either as, well, 2 pairs of 4 or 2 pairs of 2. Any preference?
Again, what you said?
Any preference as to whether you want to map the 4 beats as 2 pairs of 2 or a pair of 4?
Oh, let
Like,
me check.
if you want to be geometrical about it, you could just make a square and then like double triangles after or something, or triple triangles. That would work.
I think
I
triangles.
I'd probably go with this one though, like the double pairs of 2, because I really love pairs of 2, and it does feel less static, to be fair.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I like this too. And it will be the same for the other 4, or
No,
it will change?
these are pairs of 3 from here on.
Okay.
You can map that differently. Like you can map it with a slider circle combo. Like I'd say similar to Cry Thunder basically, but like just yeah, I'm just using my own map as an example. I'm just going to use this again. The difference in these implementations that you could choose is the note that you have the strongest impact on. I mean, the note you have the strongest impact on should always be the first one of the pattern in this case, but the way you emphasize it differs. And what I mean by that is you can increase the spacing towards the next combo if you use the slider circle way.
But like when we use the sliders, it's like not emphasized enough, I think.
Yeah,
For
that's
this.
fine. Like you can make it as circles in general. It just depends on how you want to do it. I'm just saying, like, you would have the option of going more around this route of, you know, having something like this going on. Whoop, wait. We're gonna get there. We do that, and then we take this and put it onto that. But you know, the strongest beats in this would be very much emphasized. Emphasize. Fuck me. But yeah, the new combos basically would be really strong in this because you have the spacing contrast. 1 to 2. 2 has little spacing, is after the slider, clearly part of the same combo. Strong snap towards the next combo with large spacing, then slower spacing and smooth motion again within the combo, snap to the next combo.
Okay.
Alternatively, you could also do this, obviously, which is basically, or just something like this, I guess. I don't know, 2 follow points. And like you could make this a blanket around here, I guess. Just as an aesthetical thing. But yeah, the thought is that you would, if you wanted to do this version, you would want to snap back onto the next combo. You could do it like this, or you could make it so that you basically, you could increase the spacing as well over time, or you could just do something like this. Just basically you start off at around the same point, and then you just rotate it more which gives the it gives the feeling of similarity, consistency. Let's say consistency. That works better. You get what I mean. And yeah, you get that consistency, and you have the same pattern. It's just tilted more strongly every time. And I say more strongly because first you have a mostly horizontal one, then you have mixed horizontal vertical, and then you have mostly vertical movement.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
I get the
why
idea.
this rolls up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it stronger. Also because there's no break time.
Yeah. Okay.
Now comes the problematic part of the song. Because this is a relatively slow song, or rather low BPM.
Low BPM,
Yeah, like, I mean, it is effectively pretty slow. It doesn't feel weak, that's not what I'm saying, but
yeah.
it's slow because it's not very packed with beats. It's very much based on resonance and everything, like echo of notes.
Yeah.
So you have this one, the Ki time. You could map this different ways. And the ways I'd say would be like you go with just the impact for the electric guitar at the start, so that the hold note that you're going to start in the blue tick is going to be stronger. That's one thing you could do. And this is the type of song that I've never really mapped as well, so I'm not that confident in it. Just as a disclaimer, because that's always the problem I've seen with it. You should use higher slider speed for this one, by the way.
Okay.
Like 1.33 or something, just higher, you know?
For this part or only for this one?
For the Ki part.
Okay.
Because otherwise the hold notes are not going to feel very impressive, because you can just basically hold them still. Like, the thing is, you can do this different ways. You can try to go more in the angular route of things, which is what I like to do. Or you could try to go more into spacing. Like, for example, this combo, 4x5, is more angular, more technical. And this is where I'm going to pull out the good old paint. Because here comes the thing. We're going to use blue wiggly lines for swaying notes, just for clarification.
Okay.
So like these notes aren't that pressured. Whoops, I want this to look better. Well, I guess that's okay. So basically what you get is you have the swaying notes, then you have the snap down into this. Then you get the curvy note, which should be around here, like extended curve. Because you need to go this far horizontally anyway, so you might overswing. Like this is mostly speculation about the overswing, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
And then you snap down again before you repeat a curve motion. So that's more micromanagement intense, basically. Go more on the technical side of things. Alternatively, you could snap out from here, but the concept stays the same. You snap out of the slider in a way that is not intuitive to the slider itself, which makes 5 a lot more pressured. That's one way to go about it. Now the other way would be just to increase spacing, obviously. You could make that, like, have another slider that is basically similar to the one you've already used, if you want to imply that they're similar in note anyway. Which I'm getting a lot into implications and subtle things here, as you might have noticed.
Yeah.
but basically that's the thought process. And you could do this as an alternative. This is the more spacing oriented route. Then the attention you put is more on getting the snap onto 5 in a spacing way, like in increasing speed rather than dropping out and actively changing the way you move. That depends on which kind of map you want to do. You can be more technical, micromanagement-ish, or you can make it like this, which is basically you just do a standard snap jump.
Yeah, I think that's better. This one.
I like the previous one, but that's me. I
I
mean,
don't
I
know.
understand why. It's not like I don't. It's not like something like this.
Okay.
And then after this should follow another slider. And the way you could do this is you could either have it as a continuation of this one, or you could have it as a mini snap. Say you could do one here that, I don't know, needs somewhere there.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you could have another thing here, which I would actually use high slider velocity to emphasize this one, because the guitar feels very freaky to me, at least. So like you could use 2.0 slider velocity and, like, I don't know, make something here that's weird. Make something that's weird. Weirder. Weird. Like, I can't into weird sliders, but you get me. I can't do weird sliders, I'm sorry. It's something I just can't do. I'm just not good at weird things. I don't know, something like this.
Okay.
And then you get the snap into the next combo, like here. And then, like, fun repeats over. Got that across? Okay, good.
Okay. It also flows well too, I think.
Huh? What did you say?
Never mind. Never mind.
No, I just didn't understand because the quality made you sound like you were underwater. What did you say?
I think it flows well as well.
Yeah, it does. That's the thing. Like, this is much more smooth than the alternative, the more technical one. Which I love forcing snaps, but that's my personal preference of maps, which is like Kidley, Suka maps and everything.
Okay.
But yeah, the emphasis you have here is awesome that you have these two beats emphasized by having large spacing. Because those are the main drum beats on the white ticks here. Which is why you should increase the volume on them.
Okay.
95. Like, say you just do this. Optimally, you would also reduce the volume on the slider's ends. Like, every slider end should have lower volume than its start. Like, say 1/3 less or half as much or something. That would be optimal, but that's very micro intense. You don't have to do that, but it's nice. But yeah, should I do another example, or is that enough for KI
I think for now.
What do you say?
Let me see the next part. Wait a second.
Repeat.
Go to the stream part.
Okay. I think this doesn't sound too spaced to me.
Spaced, I mean,
It doesn't.
Objects, right?
Yeah, no, like the song doesn't sound like it's calling for spacing for me personally. I can see
Hmm.
it work. It's just I'd prefer if it was different. Say like you have a stream that leads upwards into that thing. Fuck. Just say like we put it here. That is 0.2 from there. Okay. So we take 1/8, put this to 0.2. Wait, what? For fuck's sake. Okay. We put this to 0.4 is what we do. Basically, something like this, you know? Just the other way around.
Okay. I think, yeah, it seems good.
Something like this. Like that's how I see it work. It works really good with the slider that goes down like this, because then the speed goes up, like the speed at which you move goes up again. The click rate that you use goes down, but the speed at which you move goes up again, and the angle is completely different. Like you slowly go upwards while clicking a lot, and then you pretty quickly go downwards, like while faster with just one click.
Should I space more from the previous object? That's three.
What?
This one.
I deleted the previous object.
There was a circle there. Only.
Can't skip back enough. You will need to send me a
Just
screenshot.
place.
You will need to send me a screenshot for this.
I'm the thing I'm asking is like I have a circle before that, but should I space more or just like not break the distance?
Just give me a screenshot, because I don't have the objects in the map that I have locally anymore, so I can't click the timestamp and get anything out of it.
Okay.
It's like you kind of need to send me the screenshot.
All right.
I think larger spacing into this works now. Like, say like this. Something like this probably does work.
Yeah, that is what I'm asking here.
Yeah, the one you had before was more angling intense. But yeah, I like what I just did here. Like something like that. I think the compressed spacing really fits the tom spam.
The thing I'm asking is like your 2 and 3 spacing.
Yeah, I know. Your 8 and 1 spacing
One, yeah.
is
Should be more, right?
No, it doesn't have to be more if you want to keep that. You should, if you wanted to keep that, you should just move the following stream a bit more down to the left, like to the bottom and left, because then the angle increases.
So is it okay to increase the spacing there?
It's okay. It's just wait, I'm just gonna do the paint again. Basically, in this example, I'd say you should move the circle, like the stream, to start down here or something. Because that forces more of a snap from here. Because this isn't really much of an angle. It's not a strong angle there. Like going down here again, that's much stronger. So then you have the reset, and you would go with the curve. You would have something like this again or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have
I will use yours. I will use your stream, right?
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to explain like how this could work out if you wanted to keep the old one.
No, I don't want to keep this one.
That's okay. I mean, that's what I'm here for, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Rhythms repeat. Oh, okay. So this goes, and I 1 2 with a hold note. like, say, something like this. And for like clarity's sake, I'm gonna do the thing where I basically this goes in pair of two, pair of two, pair of two.
Okay.
The way that I think you could emphasize this properly is if you go like basically like this, because then you have a clear break, because strong angle up here, and then upward downwards motion with increased snap rather than upwards motion with little snap. And then you just flip this again and put that like here or something.
Okay.
And then you can put like one down there for the finish. Stuff like that, just in general. That's how I would do this one. Does it make sense to you?
Here, yeah, okay, yeah.
Like the
But
intention is
I don't understand the reason of the first slider.
the what? The
Slider.
reason? The reason why it's there?
Yeah. But why it's not circle then?
Oh, you mean it's why it's not a circle, or why it's not smooth?
And why it's not circle?
I mean, you could use a circle. The thing is, if you wanted to use a circle, you would need to start off with the following combos placed on top of this one.
Oh, wait.
That.
I think I got...
You can stack it. You can do it like that. Like, you can do it like this. That works. That works as well. I mean, it works just as well, actually. Also, stacking leniency, I'd say you should use 3. Yeah, actually, this works pretty well. Ah, for fuck's sake. Yeah, here I'd say you should be more hold note intense. Look, you can reuse the same slider 4 times.
Yeah.
And it works.
Okay.
Yeah, you understand why I'm doing this?
The spacing changes, yeah?
The notes get stronger over time. 3 is
Okay.
stronger than 2, 4 is stronger than... Yeah, and 5 is by far the strongest one. So you have the smooth angle between 2 and 3, but with relatively large spacing, considering these are sliders. Then 3 into 4 is larger spacing with a sharp angle turn on the top of 4. With like a bit of leniency from 3, people will snap out around here.
Okay.
So they will go from there, and then they have a sharp turn there. And then on 5 you have the strongest one, which is also extremely strong as a beat in the song. So it has the highest spacing, and it has the strongest angle on it, because you like flop out of 4 on top of 5. So 5 has the strongest turn on it as well. And then you could have a large spaced circle there for the next combo. Make sense?
Yeah.
And then you just have the same pattern repeat here again, like the same sound pattern.
Okay.
Ooh, but yeah. Okay, this is stronger. here the drum, what do you call it?
Mm-hmm. Drum.
Yeah, something that the drum has. But like the something that the drum has that is loud here is what is more often. Yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, yeah. That's that could work. Thing is, if you want to make a slider that is shorter than the other one, but still in the same spirit of it, so to speak, then you need to do stuff like this. You need to figure out where you want to start the slider. Oh, for fuck's sake. Why is this not working right now? I can't move the starting. Oh, now I can move the starting point for some reason. Basically, you move it around inside of the big slider to get the angle that you want.
Okay.
Something like this. Like if, for example, you wanted to do, again, one of these more inwards curling motions, like with the previous combo, basically. And then you could do something like that. And then you could use this one, use slider leniency again, like go fire spacing over there, and all of that. Like leniency doesn't impact this pattern too much because you complete this one until up here anyway. This one you might snap out here, but that's why you have the large spacing, because it compensates for that. So basically that's what you do, or can do. That's what I could do. Oh yeah, fuck this. This is supposed to be the same speed. And then we could use spacing. What kind of spacing could we use here? Like that. Basically what I'm doing here is I'm doing the curling motion further, so that this one, the slider end of this one feels like it's blanketing that one.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking to keep consistency. And then this one breaks the motion again, has a strong accentuated angle and everything. And that's your finish for the section. Down here.
Okay.
Something like that. I should put break times between all of this, so it's more clear what's where.
Alright.
Okay, then this is basically a repetition of previous things, just with more drums.
Yeah.
I think you can fill that out yourself. I like that you increase the amount of clicks here. Yeah, the clicking rhythm in this one seems okay. Obviously the patterns aren't really clean, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like clicking rhythm wiseness is fine.
Alright.
Yeah, this should not be a back and forth, obviously, and you should have a slider here to emphasize the hold. Just to get the rhythm across, the rest doesn't matter right now.
Alright.
Like this is a rhythm that works. Not the
Alright.
spacing, but the rhythm that works. I guess I should make it look decently though. I mean, I don't have to. It's just, I guess it's better if I'm giving you the file that it actually also makes sense properly. 2.3. And again, I'm doing the thing where I want to elongate the slider, but I want it to feel similar, so I'm just gonna do this.
Mhm.
Make this a triangle actually. Not spacing. I don't want to scale spacing. I want it to rotate. Thank you. Stuff like that.
Okay.
And then this section is what I'm most concerned about with the entire song's mappability. Because it's basically just 1-1 spam with filler drums.
Yeah.
I mean, this last part we don't need to go about. I guess you can map this just like slider spam, basically.
Well, I did something on hard difficulty and for this part. Can you check that?
I must rotate.
I used some circles between them.
No, I must rotate here. This is my
Oh,
job
like
as...
this.
Huh?
Okay. Oh, that seems good, I think, but perfect actually.
Okay, hard diff. Yeah, I think you should stick to something like this. Yeah.
Okay.
And this kind of stuff went over. Yeah. Yeah, this is just a repetition of what we had before. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, is that enough examples for you?
I think so.
I'm just gonna rename the diff then, or rather save as new diff. Wait, I can
Okay.
create a new difficulty. It's not the same as save as new difficulty. Create new difficulty, just called insane. Sure, I can clear all objects on that. Okay.
Okay.
I guess I'm just gonna send it over to you then.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that? This is there. Nice. Skype. Nice. Okay, good. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any further questions?
Can I show you again after the edit? After the edit?
Sure.
Because I don't. I
I'd say
think.
you can show me again in like a week or something if you want to keep tinkering on it. Like usually what
Okay.
I do is when I mod somebody's map or I guess, coach them. Um,
Mm.
is that I will look at the map again like a week or 2 weeks after,
All
and
right.
I'd say I'm available for another mod map coachy thing, whatever you want to call it, like a month or two after, because, and that's the thing, I try to invest a lot into principal teaching,
Okay.
like so that people don't make the same mistakes afterwards. And if I just monitor them on like a week by week basis, then that just feels inefficient, you know? Because like you
Yeah.
need to have time to work on things on your own after that.
Yeah. Okay.
And like you can like send me the map again next week or a week after that, and then I can look at it again.
All right.
Yeah, but for another map, that's gonna take a while. And it doesn't have to.
No, no,
This.
I'm asking for the same map,
Yeah, I know,
not
I know.
another map.
I'm just clarifying. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with like anybody personally that I did these things with. It's just I actually like seeing how people work with it, like after the mod, like on their
All
own.
right. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in a week or two, you can send me the map for a recheck or something,
All right.
and we can
Okay.
do an off-stream checkup if you want,
Yeah,
something
that
like
would
that.
be good.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm just gonna close the stream now. I'm still gonna be on the call,
All
for
right.
a bit, but
Okay.
yeah, for the stream viewers, the session is over. I'm very sorry that wasn't 2 or 3 hours long as usual, but this map wasn't that long either, and a lot of the parts were repetitive, so that's a big point as well. So that's that, and I don't know when I do the next one. Maybe next week, maybe something like that. But until then.